Hello, simplifiers. I haven't gotten to check in lately. I did do a video last week. What was that? I was declaring my bathroom. The lighting was terrible in that, so if you watched it, I hope you just pardon me. It is so dark in my bathroom, and I should have brought a lamp in there. That usually does help some, but I did not. I am terrible with lighting. I don't have the ring light that everybody else in the world has. I don't like that because with glasses it just reflects right into the glasses, and I can't see without the glasses. Anyway, I was just looking at my phone. I just got out of the shower. My dad called me at 7 and thought it was 8. So I'm going to call him back at 8. I don't, I don't know, y'all. I was in the shower because it was 7. Now it's 7:30, and I want to do a video before it gets dark. And if I call him now, it'll be dark by the time I get off the phone with him because he likes to talk, which is fine. So I've had the weirdest experience. I think I'm going to call this video "It's Always Something." And it actually has somewhat of an interesting ending as far as today goes. But on Monday morning, so today's Sunday, on Monday morning, I was driving to Jackson, and out of nowhere, I started itching, and it was like right here, right about here. And I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm not scratching real hard, but I was like, what's going on? I'm just itching. And then it blew up, and I was itching all over. And I was like, what's going on? So I had to go to the pharmacy for him anyway. So that worked out okay because I was like, I've got to get some Benadryl. I had tons of Benadryl at the house, but I was in the car. And I carry a suitcase with me, and I tried to put every single drug I might ever need in there. So there might be Benadryl in that suitcase, but I didn't think to look in there. So anyway, when I stopped at Kroger for my dad, I just went straight for the Benadryl, got a cheap package, generic package of that. And as the week has gone on, it finally occurred to me, okay, so I was on Biaxin, which is it's also called clarithromycin. It's for the sinus infection that I thought I had. Hold that thought. I thought I had a sinus infection, right? I told you it's back. My sinuses, I've had headache, full-blown headache for like a week. Nothing's touching it. I have taken so much Benadryl trying to stop the itching that my sinuses pretty much cleared up. Although today I'm real hoarse, which is strange. That could go along with the sinus infection as well. But I'm not, when I'm really bad, this right here gets really a deep wrinkle in it. And it's like, you can see it, it'll be like indented. And you can see today it's not, I think you can see it's not indented right here. That's when I'm just really bad, is when I have these dents in my head. So that's all cleared up because of the Benadryl. Apparently this entire time, and I guess I should have known to take an antihistamine. Nobody ever said that. They were like, use your nasal sprays, use your saline rinse. Nobody ever really, I'm using an antihistamine spray, right? And I have like a steroid spray, and I think I have a couple of steroid sprays actually, because I have like 3 different sprays I'm using. So all these different sprays, but none of it was fixing my problem. And then the sinus rinse has the antibiotic and the steroid in it. That was not fixing the problem. Well, I've been taking 5 Benadryl a day, spread out, not at once, but throughout the day because of the itching. 4 to, maybe I've had less today, but 4 to 5 a day. My friend said I would be out for 48 hours. And I was like, listen, it doesn't bother me at all. I am sleeping well at night, but I don't even think it's that. Because I'm actually, you can tell, I'm not tired. I'm actually pretty wired. And at this moment, I'm feeling better. Finally. This has been going on a week. I'm ready to pull my hair out. The itching is driving me nuts. So I thought it was the antibiotic, but I really wanted to take the antibiotic. So I was like, if I get off this, I'm never going to get well, you know? So I kept trying to muddle through with the antibiotic. Well, guess what? It wasn't the antibiotic. It was dairy. Dairy is what has caused all this upheaval. I figured this out because one day, I drink hot cocoa every day. It doesn't matter if it's 1,000 degrees outside, I've got my hot cocoa, just like a coffee drinker. I'm going to drink it no matter what. I was sitting there drinking my hot cocoa, and my tongue started swelling in my mouth. And I had Benadryl, and so I took another one. I probably already had one that morning, but I took another one. And it stopped. So I would obviously, if it had continued, I had to have called 911 and got, whatever, an injection, EpiPen, whatever that is, which I don't have, by the way. Don't have an EpiPen. Need one, don't have one. Okay, that still didn't clue me in that it was the milk. It should have. I think at that point I was like, yeah, I think it might be the milk. And I was like, oh, my life's over. If I can't have dairy, y'all, my life's just over. Well, I don't think I can have dairy. So I guess my life is over. My life will be ending now. You'll watch it end right here. Anyway, I'm moving on because I figured out, it was taking me several days, but I figured it out. So I think Friday morning, I said, okay, I'm going to skip the hot cocoa. Maybe it was Thursday when that happened with the tongue. I bet it was Thursday. Friday, I was like, skipping the hot cocoa. Let's just try some yogurt. And I usually pile the yogurt on. It's just plain yogurt, and then I put berries on it and my banana. I usually pile that on, just pile it and pile it. And I was like, you know, if it's the dairy, I should probably eat less. So I put some of it back in the container. It was still too much. I was at my dad's. Nothing happened immediately. I was at my dad's. This was hours later on Friday. And maybe that wasn't even what caused it, but I assumed it's what caused it. My throat started constricting, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the dairy. I'm just not going to be able to have dairy. My life is over. Ran and took another Benadryl. Thank the Lord. My dad wasn't even there. I was like, well, thank goodness. I mean, not that I wouldn't want him driving me. That wouldn't work anyway. I just have to call 911. I mean, if your throat's closing up and nothing fixes it, obviously you're going to call 911. But the Benadryl stopped it immediately. It never got any worse. It improved to me, almost immediately. Benadryl is amazing. I got to tell you, it's an amazing drug. It's not helping this itching, though. this itching. I'm itching all over. But a lot of the itching is right here, up inside my nose, of all things. Of all things. Even though using these nasal sprays, and they all say, oh, it helps itchy nose. It don't help this itch, let me tell you. It does not help this itch. And then my head, I'm just like, and I can feel it. It just will sort of crawl up here, and it'll sort of be like tingling right here. And then my head will start itching, and I'm just like, I just want to, and I'm not, because I don't want to, like, you know, scratching is not going to fix it. So I'm not, but I want to. Okay, so then the strangest thing's happening. All I've done is itch and itch and itch and itch and itch and itch and itch. And I mean, it's just been annoying as all get out. My friend told me to try Singulair, and I had some, or she said, you could do that. Yesterday, the Singulair seemed to work. Today, it seems to have done absolutely nothing. And that's why I had a whole bottle of it I never took, because I was using it for this, and I never could tell it did a thing. So why keep taking it, right? I'm not going to just keep taking drugs for no reason. So I just put it aside. Well, when my friend mentioned it yesterday, I was like, I'll go get that. It did seem to help yesterday. Today, no. I have itched all freaking day, and I haven't had any dairy. I've been very careful. The only thing, okay, so I think my bread does not say anything about it's been made in an area where milk products, whatever. My bread does not say that, but I may have eaten like one or two things that did say something. They don't have milk or dairy in them, but they might have been alongside dairy, which with my throat closing up and also my tongue, I was like, I don't even know if I should, that contamination, that cross-contamination, that could be a problem. And I've heard everybody talk about this for years. It's not like I don't know what it is. So I'm like, oh, I gotta be super careful. Really gotta be super careful. I even got some vegan cheese, y'all. All I've ever done is made fun of this fake stuff. And here I am over here eating vegan cheese, not even kidding. Still itching. So I told Spencer, I said, if I'm gonna itch, I'm gonna enjoy myself, I'm going to the gym. So we went to church this morning. So we were gone all morning, came home, ate lunch, itched some more. Doesn't matter what I eat, still itching. We didn't have anything that involved dairy at all, still itching. So I'm like, oh great. I'm allergic to everything I eat. Everything. So so after we got home and ate, then I told him, I said, if I'm going to itch like this and I'm just going to be miserable, I can go to the gym and just have fun as I'm being miserably itchy, right? And bless his heart, he don't know what to do, he's not know what to do either, right? All we know is I need an allergist real bad, right? So, and then I've been researching that, and that scares me because apparently if you've had the throat swelling or any of those things, you don't need to have the scratch test. So I'm like, fine with me, let's do the blood test. I don't want the scratch test. The scratch test, no thank you. More needles, right? I just assume not do it. So anyway, came home from the gym. I went to Walmart. I got my Sunday school teacher mentioned the amber colored Listerine. He has rosacea. And he said, you should just get, he's real country, you should just get some of that amber colored Listerine. I bought the Listerine. Haven't tried it yet. I kind of got scared, so I haven't tried it. Because my bottle says intense, and I'm betting I need the one that says mild, but they didn't have that. And I didn't notice it said intense till I got home. So I'm going to look for the mild and see if I can find that, because I'm thinking intense would be too much. But I think he just like dabs it on his face for rosacea. But I thought, well, I could mix it 50-50 with water and dab it on my face that way. But I'm kind of scared since the bottle says intense. I'm a little bit scared about that. I guess I could water it down more. But anyway, in the meantime, I bought several things. I bought witch hazel. I wandered across I didn't even think about witch hazel. Wandered across that while I was looking for the other stuff. I bought a Benadryl spray because these pills, I mean, 5 a day, the itching should stop at some point, shouldn't it? Plus the Singulair, like, how many products do I need? I bought a 6-pack of Allegra because I thought, if one of these doesn't work, I'm not going to keep taking them. So I just bought a 6-pack. Very small little box. I haven't taken that yet because I've taken so many. You're really not supposed to take that's what kind of scares me, because the Benadryl is definitely helping some. It's just not fixing it. So it's like, well, if the Allegra doesn't help at any, I'm still going to want some Benadryl, right? Well, they have a Benadryl spray and cream. I thought the spray would be helpful because my head, while I was at the gym, my head was itching right here along this part. And I really was scratching. I was like, oh, you got to stop scratching because that's already feeling like really tender. You can't be doing that. You just got to let it itch. Just don't scratch it. So I thought the Benadryl spray, that'll help. That I can spray it in my freaking hair, right? So I did. I got in the car and I was like, and this is where I screwed up. It itched right here. Like it feels like it's just moving up. It's like numb and tingling and moving to my head. So I sprayed some here and it ran right into my eyes. Then my eyes were burning, as you can imagine. So don't do that. But I was so desperate. This itching, it will drive you nuts. It reminds me of the story of Job in the Bible. If you know the story of Job, he had these boils. Now, obviously his was worse. This is nothing compared to Job. The man was covered in boils and he was like scratching himself. But what was he? Y'all that remember this story, he had something he was scratching him. It wasn't his fingers. He was like systematically scratching those boils. Anyway, every time I itch, I'm like, Job, I don't know how you did it, because Job had a million problems. It wasn't just this one. Poor Job. Job made an impression on me, let me just tell you. So anyway, it's actually one of my favorite stories. I have 2 favorite stories. I love Job, and I also love Samson. 2 of my favorite stories in the Bible. Anyway, and I love a lot of stories, but I just really loved Samson. Just loved him. So anyway, sprayed that, went straight in my eyes. Thankfully, y'all, because I was in my truck, thankfully I had a big glass of water, and so I just dumped the water in my hand, and I just was going like this. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just sprayed that almost right in my eyeballs, because my eyes were burning. Well, thankfully that cleared it right up. As soon as I got the water on it, that just cleared it right up. And then I sprayed it around here, because this has just been itching like crazy. This right here, and up in my nose, and up here, and oh, my ears. Oh, my ears. Okay, so tonight we had a very simple supper. I made hamburger meat, and I made my own taco. I forgot about the taco seasoning. I was going to do tacos. Forgot about the taco seasoning, but I was like, oh, I bet I have this stuff here to make, because I do my own chili seasoning. Sure enough, I found a recipe. Oh yeah, I've got all this right here. I'll just mix this right up. I don't think it was strong enough, I will say that, but it was fine. I put my vegan cheese on there. I put my paste picante, which does not have any milk at all products in it. Doesn't say a word about milk in there, or dairy, or anything. Nothing I had said a word about milk, not one thing. It said bioengineered, which I hate, but it didn't say. The vegan cheese is non-GMO. And then we had some corn that was organic, so it wasn't bioengineered. I hate that crap. But anyway, we're stuck with it here in America. That's what you're going to eat for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. So anyway, I had that. So I got the corn out and heated that up because we'd had it one night. And so we finished the corn off. And so we both had beef tacos. Last 2 nights I had chicken tacos, like chicken wraps, really. They were more like wraps. Anyway, still itching. Then the funniest thing happened. I bought this vegan chocolate because I was like, well, I guess I'm done eating chocolate. Well, they have some dairy-free chocolate. very, very expensive. Tiny little bar about like this, $2. I was like, whatever, I'm a chocoholic. At some point I'd like some chocolate. Then I was reading the fine print and it was like, could contain milk. And I was like, because it didn't actually say dairy free on it. I misunderstood. I thought it was dairy free, which I think it is. I think technically it is, because I was like, I'll just have one little chunk. One little chunk, we'll see if I can tolerate it. And if there's milk in there, I will not be able to. But it's like, it's a cross-contamination thing. It's not, milk is not actually in it, but it might be on the machine, which is a problem, or could be. So I ate that, and I put the witch hazel on a cotton ball and put it around here again. I had sprayed this when I was at the gym, and that has not started itching again. I'm so sick of it itching. Tired of it. So I don't think that my head has really started back itching. This doesn't feel weird up here, like it's tingling or itching, none of that. After I ate that chocolate, the itching ended. Maybe not 100%, but pretty much. It's pretty much done. And I was like, well, that seems odd. Well, so whatever milk was in that tiny little cube, the only way I'll be able to afford this chocolate is to eat one tiny little cube every day and stretch it out for an entire week. Then I can buy another bar next week, right? I also bought dairy-free semi-sweets, like little chocolate morsels. That was $8 for a tiny, tiny bag. I think the bag was like, I don't even know if it was 8 ounces. I think it was 9 ounces. $8 for 9 ounces. You see how expensive this is? The tiny bag of cheese, about like this, was, I think, it was like $4.50. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Anyway, if you happen to notice, I noticed it when I played it back. In that video, I didn't mention all the itching or any of that in that video that I did decluttering in the bathroom, but I kept doing like something like this to my nose. That's why, because up inside my nose, itching like crazy. This is the most calm the itching has been in days. And I don't even know why. I don't know if it's the Benadryl spray fixed it or the witch hazel. It seems like it must have been the Benadryl spray, because I sprayed it right on top of that in this area right here, and that has not started back. But I thought for sure after I ate that chocolate, I was like, I'm going to just doom myself right now. So anyway, apparently not. So that's an update from my crazy life. I don't understand, y'all. It's one thing after another. And I know I'm not the only person that has this problem, but every day it's something. And I've just been itching for a week, and I don't even have an appointment with the doctor yet, because I should have, because literally for days I thought it was the antibiotic, and I finally quit it. And then after about 3 days, I was like, that's not the antibiotic. I feel like that would have worn off by now. But it's so interesting to me that apparently I don't even need the antibiotic, that the Benadryl just cleared all this crap right up. It only took 5 Benadryl a day to clear this crap up. Who would have known? So anyway, and then of course I was at lunch with my friends. That was a fiasco. It was a great lunch. It was a fiasco because I itched like crazy the whole rest of the day. All I had was, I told them I can't do dairy at all. All I had was eggs and bacon. Itched. My head itched. Everything itched. My nose, my everything. It's funny, my mouth on the inside, you'd think the inside would be itchy. No. Right here, real bad, right? I don't know what it is about this side, but right here, real bad. And inside my nose, real bad. And inside my ears, real bad. But not inside. My friend has all these allergies due to a tick bite. So that's the first thing she said. Did you have a tick bite? And I said, well, explain this to me, Gail, because every time I've ever had a tick bite, I knew I had the tick because I got it off, right? I found a way to get it off. I would get Spencer to get it off or whatever. When I was growing up, I would get my parents to get it off because I don't like touching nasty things. I said, do you know that you get the tick bite? Because she has this allergy. And she said, oh, yes, you see the tick. And I said, I have not seen a tick. I mean, I've seen a tick on Knock. I actually gave him a flea and tick pill because Spencer had gotten 3 or 4 ticks off of him. Every time he would come up here, he had a new tick. And listen, I can't live like that. If you get in this little wooded area back here, this is where you're going to see the ticks. Up here, not so much. So I have not personally seen a tick except on the cat. So I do not think I had a tick bite. Also, the tick bite thing, the itching is hours later. It can be it's usually 2 to 6 hours. And this is like, I eat and boom, itch. That's why I'm so shocked that I'm not itching right now, because I had a pretty big, I had that 2 tacos, the corn, something to drink, and then that piece of chocolate. I mean, it's not a huge meal, but I'm very full. It was big enough. So I don't know why I'm not itching right now. If the Benadryl spray is working, well then praise God, because something needed to work, because this is the most irritating thing I have ever dealt with. Well, recently. I mean, I've dealt with irritating things, but y'all, this has been something else. Constant itching is very annoying. So I got a little taste of Job's life, not much, because you know the Lord let Satan do terrible things to Job, if you don't know the story, and Job's all his kids were killed by different weather, or I can't even remember all of it right now, but all of his kids were killed. And his wife turned against him, and she was like, just curse God, Job, and be done with it. And he was like, no, not cursing God. It's not God's fault. And she just said horrible things to him. So his wife turned on him. All his kids were gone. He had lots of livestock, and all that was gone. Something decimated. I can't even remember the story well enough to tell you. Something decimated all of his flocks. I think a building fell on a lot of stuff. Maybe a building fell on the kids. It was bad. All right. And then the boils started, and then he started scraping himself. He was scraping himself with a piece of pottery. That's what it was. I feel like Job, I'm going to find me a piece of pottery and scrape myself with it, because that's what I felt like. So all day at church, I was like, oh, Job, I don't know how you did it. I don't know, between losing all your kids and your wife turning against you and the boils and all the other, because that wasn't even all of it. It was horrible. Everything that happened to him, like, I just don't know how. And then he just sat and scraped himself with a piece of pottery. So anyway, bless Job's heart. And then the Lord blessed him and gave him everything back. But then you're thinking, yes, but that didn't bring his kids back. He didn't have those children that he lost. So that is very sad. It was a lot of kids. It wasn't like 2. It was like a bunch of kids. Anyway, that's my little preaching for you today. My little sermon, my short sermon. I'm not good at preaching because I can't half remember the story. I'll refresh my memory. We can discuss it next time. As of right now, not itching, feeling much better. Love you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of this will be the beginning of the week. Hope you have a wonderful week, because I guess you'll see this maybe Monday. And I hope things are going better for you, and I hope you don't have a dairy allergy, because God forbid that you should love dairy as much as I do and not be able to consume it anymore. However, that chocolate was yummy. I gotta tell you, it was phenomenal. And the cheese was not terrible. I thought the cheese would be awful. It's not something you want to just like regular shredded cheese. You can just throw some in your mouth and just eat it. It's so good. This isn't that good, but when you mix it with the taco meat and the lettuce and the picante, it was fine. It was fine. I was shocked. I was completely shocked. And my friend who has this tick allergy, which is real bad, y'all. It's real bad. She was telling me about some kind of butter that they sell at, we have a Sprouts Market here. I'm sure you could get it at other places, but I guess that's where she's found it here. It's called Melt, and it's a fake butter, and I don't know exactly what it is, but she said it's phenomenal. She said it's absolutely phenomenal. She says, I like it better than butter. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me, because I love butter. I love real butter a lot. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm gonna look into that, since I can't have butter anymore either. Nice, huh? So the next thing I gotta do is look into finding a doctor. Gotta find an allergist and see if they'll just do blood work, the blood test. Because this whole getting off, you gotta be off Benadryl for days. I don't think that's gonna work for me. Not if my throat starts closing up. That ain't gonna work. Nope. So I read somewhere it's not safe. If you've had a reaction like that, it's not safe to do the little scratch test. So fine with me, because I'll be honest, I'd rather do the blood work. Let's just draw the blood and move on. All right, love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.